Okay, we have some great news in regards to the distribution of food stamps for roughly 42 million people across the country. I want to bring up to speed as far as where we're at right now. This is some good news, and things are coming in a lot faster than we anticipated. Let me bring you up to speed as far as where we're currently at. And now I also want to preface all of this information by saying this. Remember, the food stamp program is a great program administered generally by, it's, funded by the USDA essentially, but they send money out to the states. So it's going to be different across the entire country for each state. Each state's going to be a little bit different timeline here, but overall, some great news considering where we've been over the last several days here, and also considering that the USDA just sent out the guidance to the states yesterday with the issuance charts and things like this as far as helping these states get set up to send out these payments to the beneficiaries within their respective states. So it's been honestly a huge mess. As you probably recognize, you've been watching the videos here for a while now. But yes, finally, some good news. It seems like things are maybe calming down a little bit with all of this chaos around SNAP benefits, food stamps, the deposits onto EBT cards. Let me bring you up to speed as far as we're currently at right now. And also what the good news is that's out there. I'm going to break it all down for you in this video. And as always, please drop your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. I know that it's a very confusing time. And as promised, I'm going to be here for you by your side, helping you through this in any way possible. If you've not done so, or if you're new here, please make sure to consider subscribing. 100% free. Big subscribe button right down below. Thank you. I really appreciate that. All right. Anyway. Okay, so this week has certainly been a very busy, a very chaotic week around food stamps. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to say this. On the news front, there isn't a whole lot of flipping and flopping today, which is honestly a little bit weird considering the last week or so, every single day, it's been one thing and then it's been another. They flip and they flop and they go back and forth. We haven't seen any of that yet today, okay? Obviously, there's still plenty of time left today for them to come out and do that if they wanted to. But we have not seen a whole lot of that, well, at least since yesterday, okay? But anyway, here's the really cool thing. Remember how over the last several days here, they continue to say, oh, we're going to send out partial payments. We got that guidance on Monday. They basically said they have the $4.65 billion. And again, you've heard me say all of this before. They're going to send out roughly 50% of benefits. USDA is going to hand down the guidance, the issuance charts to states, which they did yesterday, and further information on how they can recalibrate their machines and basically the algorithms, the databases that they use to send out the proper necessary payments to all the beneficiaries, all of that mess. And then they also warned, oh, by the way, this could take weeks to months to get these payments out to beneficiaries. Okay, that's very interesting. That's what they said, okay? But now here we are literally a day later after basically all this information was hitting the last couple of days here. And now here we are literally 24 hours later, and it's very exciting. Here's the deal. Some states have already issued payments to some beneficiaries today already. Some states have already issued payments today, according to what I'm reading on this. And there's other states that are projecting payments to start rolling in next week, okay? Now, again, I totally get it. We don't want to wait another week. I totally get that. Wait a whole another week for your, half benefit, essentially. But here's the deal. Just as of yesterday, literally 24 hours ago, they were telling us, oh, this could take weeks to months to get this money out to the beneficiaries. Some people already got paid today, and more to come next week. And obviously, probably tomorrow and Friday, we will also see more states issuing payments to their beneficiaries as well. So this is actually really good. It seems like this money is being distributed significantly faster than we originally anticipated. However, as I mentioned earlier, I want to mention this again super fast, which is great program. USDA sends out the money to states. States take the money, issue it to beneficiaries. Some states are being very quick about this and expediting that money to the beneficiaries because they're on their game. They have things in order and they're getting that money out to the beneficiaries. Here's the problem, and I've been warning about this for the last week or so, which is this. Some states will be very fast. Unfortunately, there will be some states that are going to be very slow about this. And yes, realistically, some states could take weeks to get this done. That's the problem with this. It's not like a federally administered program where all of a sudden federal government is basically just the one behind it and says, here you go, we're sending it all out on this one day for every single person. Unfortunately, it's not like that. Within every single state, the payment distribution is going to be a little bit different. So although it's very exciting, it's very good to see some people across the country in some specific states getting their money now. It could also be a major issue for other states, as it may take them, like I just said, possibly weeks. Okay. Anyway, here's what I want to encourage you to do. I wouldn't go nuts with this and like check your card, hourly. I wouldn't do that, but I would suggest doing this. Check your EBT card going forward. Okay. Keep an eye on it. And again, it's going to be really dependent on the state that you're located in, but keep an eye on your card. Deposits are rolling in to some beneficiaries across the country, and more will be rolling in over the coming days. And obviously into next week, significantly more states will be rolling on with this. Okay. So now there's, you probably already know this, I'm just going to say, but there are many different ways that you can check your EBT card. I would say probably the most popular app that people use is the Propel app. That's what most people use. Again, you may use the EBT Edge app. There's other ones that are out there. You may have one that's specific to your state specifically, but that's a way that you can do that. And again, in real time, you can see that updating right there as well, which is honestly really nice to have. Obviously, maybe not everybody has that functionality, or maybe has a phone in which they can have that, but that is a great way to do that as well. Okay, but my point being is that, keep an eye on it. And if your state happens to be one that's maybe fast on this, super exciting for you. That's really, really great. But also just recognize as well, it's going to be different across the entire country. We could have literally 2 states right next to each other. One gets it fast, one gets it early, and then one might need to wait a week or 2 or 3. We don't know. That's kind of the problem behind this. That's why the food stamp program is very unpredictable, simply because it's administered by each individual state, which honestly makes it pretty tough. Okay. Anyway, I was also reading today as well. And again, it's going to be different for every single person and their specific situation. But in general, beneficiaries are getting roughly 50% of what you generally get. And again, we've been talking about this for days. That should not be a surprise. You know about that simply because the money that they need, again, you've probably heard me say this, but I'm going to say it again really quickly in case you haven't heard me say it, or maybe just a little refresh or kind of bring up to speed as far as where we're at. Remember, for the month of November, we need roughly $9.2 billion to fund the entire program. Okay. They have roughly $4.65 billion. That's like literally half of what they need to send out the full benefit. Okay. 4.65 is like practically exactly half of what they actually need. Okay. It's actually just a hair over half, but it's basically half. Okay. But anyway, point being is that beneficiaries should be getting about 50% of their monthly benefit, but that may not be exactly how it shakes out for your specific situation. So it may be 50%. It may be a little bit less based on your exact situation. Okay. It's going to be different for everybody, but generally expect about half or so of generally what you're expecting to get on a monthly basis. Okay. So for example, and again, I know this is super easy math. I'm just going to say it just for example purposes. If you generally get around the maximum for an individual, call it, it's $294. Is that what it is? $294, $296. Let's just call it $300 just for easy math here. If you generally get just under $300 as an individual, household of one, okay, expect about 150, 145, something around that range, roughly in that situation. Obviously, if you're getting a maximum for a household of 4, $994, you're going to get somewhere around like $490-ish, okay, roughly, give or take a little bit. Again, it's going to be specific on your exact situation, your household size, all kinds of factors. But that's where we're at right now, okay? Now, also, quick little update on the government shutdown. Still shut down at this moment. So as of right now, there's no idea when we're going to reopen this thing, but that would be the best solution going forward to get these benefits administered to all beneficiaries in their entirety in full benefit amounts would be to reopen the government. But unfortunately right now, we don't know when that's going to happen. We have no idea. And lawmakers, well, obviously they're not exactly coming together all that much right now either. But we did hear out of some lawmakers yesterday that they could possibly have this thing opened by the end of the week, maybe, or by next week as well. We will see what happens. But if this government shutdown continues, don't be too shocked about it. Okay, I wouldn't be too shocked about this, but the whole situation would be fixed practically immediately if they were to come back and reopen the government, because then they would just refund it and we would be good for at least a little while. However, quick little warning on that, okay? A lot of people aren't talking about this. In fact, I don't think I've seen anybody talk about this at all, but I want to bring it to your attention super fast. Obviously, here we are still in early November right here and now. We've been shut down for more than a month, right? In fact, it's a new record. As of today, we are now in a new record as far as the longest government shutdown in the history of this country. Here's the problem, though. They're looking at potentially pushing out the funding for the government out until mid-December, possibly into January. Here's the problem. If they only fund it until, say, mid-December, maybe sometime into January, guess what we get to deal with again in a month and a half or 2 months? Guess what? This exact same situation, exactly what we're dealing with right now. Because if we come together with another short-term extension to fund the government out until the middle of December or sometime in January, if they do not get their work done, we face this exact same situation playing out exactly the same. Once again, another government shutdown, another lapse of SNAP benefits. This is not over yet. Okay, I'm just making it very clear where we're at here. I've not seen anybody else talk about that. But that's another one of the warnings that's out there, is if they do not come together on a long-term solution with this, we face this exact same situation again, literally in a matter of weeks, maybe a couple months, depending on how long they push this out for. Just saying, okay? Anyway, what a mess. Okay, so quick little recap here. In case you're just jumping on right now, first off, thank you so much for watching this. Really appreciate all of you. Please make sure to subscribe if you've not done so. Oh, quick little side note as well. I put out a video a few hours ago with the new rules for food stamps for the month of November. Please watch that video. That is major. So not only do we have this food stamp crisis that we're dealing with right now, we also have a major rule change that came in as of November 1st. Watch that video from a few hours ago. I've had a lot of people reaching out with comments and questions on that. I will probably come back in maybe a dedicated live stream and talk about that again. Just following up to like all the questions I've been receiving on that, I would say watch that video for sure. It's literally just a few hours ago. It's a video, not a live stream, but it is here on this channel. Again, video that I made for it. So I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, 12. No, it's probably like a 14, maybe 12 or 14-minute video. I don't know. Anyway, watch that video. Really good stuff in there, and the new rules you need to be aware of. Okay, anyway, fast little recap here. Some great news coming across right here, right now. Yesterday, USDA gave the issuance charts and guidance to states on how they can basically update their systems and basically get payments out to beneficiaries. The great news being some states have already issued payments to their beneficiaries within their respective states. Other states are looking at the distribution next week, and I'm certain that more states will probably be distributing probably tomorrow and Friday, and then obviously next week as well. A bunch more states will be issuing payments, but this is good. If I can encourage you, I would not check every hour. I would not do that. You're going to drive yourself up the wall, right? But I would say this. Check your EBT card probably daily to make sure, and just to check to see if your deposit has come through. And again, the warning that I gave earlier, I want to give it again really quickly here, which is this. It's going to be different for every single state because, again, food stamps are funded by USDA, the federal government, but they are state administered. The problem with that is that every state is going to be different on the distribution of their payments to the respective beneficiaries within their state. Okay, so that's kind of the problem. I've made that very clear over the years when I've talked about food stamps, is that great program, but it's so very different on the state-by-state level because every single state is going to do it a little bit differently, right? So anyway, just want you to be very aware of that, but this is good. So anyway, deposits hitting doesn't mean it's going to hit today, doesn't mean it's going to come tomorrow for sure, but depending on where you're located around the country, depending on the state in which you're in, some states are getting them now. In fact, Nevada got their benefits today, okay? Today, they sent out something like, what was it, $29 million or something today alone, okay? To like, what was it, 200,000 households or something? But anyway, more on the docket and more payments coming, okay? Anyway, as I get more information on this, I will certainly bring it to your attention right away. Again, thank you so much for watching this. Make sure to stay tuned. A lot of things that are still happening on this. And today, honestly, it's not even over yet. I would not be shocked if we get another random update sometime throughout the day today with who knows what, maybe more disruption, maybe more announcements on this. I'm not really sure, but I would anticipate over the coming days here, we're going to get more information, including the hearing that is coming out tomorrow, right? There's a hearing, remember, the federal judge, John McConnell, okay? So he Just the other day, I think it was it yesterday? He set up a hearing for tomorrow to issue full benefits rather than half, but full benefits. And that hearing's taking place tomorrow. I would anticipate we're going to get a lot more information out of that. So stay tuned for that as well. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe. 100% free.